Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing how I managed to lower my home loan interest rate not once or twice but 3 times, going from prime plus 0.89% in November 2022 to prime minus 0.55 by June 2025. That's a reduction of 1.44% in a span of just over 2 years. And yes, the change is saving me 837 and 45 cents every single month. And I had to count the cents because every cent counts. If you are currently paying off a home loan or planning to take a home loan, you definitely need to stick around for this. So let me take you back in terms of how this was possible. So let's rewind back to November 2022. I had just taken out a home loan and the interest rate that I got was prime plus 0.89%. I had done this with the bond originator and this was the best interest rate I could get, and this was at the time when interest rate was starting to go up. So it was the time when things were not as favorable as they should be. But considering this, I believe this was a good interest rate looking at the age of my credit history, and secondly the condition at the time in terms of that interest rate was starting to go up and inflation was starting to also go up. My monthly repayment at that time, they were supposed to be around the 9,000 range. Just to give you perspective, the home loan was initially for 850,000 rand house. So that will give you into perspective in terms of how much money you will be able to save. So for someone who was in a situation where they had bought a 3 million rand house, you can multiply the 800, just over 800 that I was able to save, to over 3,000 rand per month. Fast forward to June 2024, a year and a half later after initially taking up the loan. I was unhappy with the amount that I was paying on a monthly basis, and especially due to the amount of interest rates that were increased since I had initially taken up the loan. The funny thing is that I had taken up the loan in November, and even before I paid my first installment, there was a 0.5 increase in the interest rate. That shot up the payment from the 8,500 that I was comfortable paying to 9,000 all of a sudden, excluding the other interest rate that followed up. So when I saw this happen, I was uncomfortable paying the interest. As a result, 1.5 years later, this was in June 2024, I decided to ask for a rate review. So I went to the bank, requested that they should look at my interest rate due to the fact that my credit profile has been improving and I've been constantly paying my monthly premium without skipping. As a result of that, I was able to get a prime plus 0.2%. If you look at that, that's a reduction of 0.69% in my interest rate. And I was surprised, and it's something that I thought I should be trying out with the bank. Due to that, I was not happy with the premium that I was paying to the bank. And then 6 months later, in December 2024, I decided to go back to the bank and request another rate review. I was constantly paying the monthly premium on a constant basis, and also sometimes putting additional amount, whether 50 rand or 100 rand, that I was able to pay. As a result, I got prime for the first time. I got prime minus 0.05. I was so happy that I was now below the prime interest rate. That as a result was another reduction of 0.25%. Then lastly, just recently, I decided to go back again in June 2025 and ask for another rate review. And I was able to get prime minus 0.55, which was a reduction of 0.5%. This is excluding the interest rates that decreases that we have been seeing from the Reserve Bank. As a result, in total, my initial monthly payment moved from almost 10,000 rands to now 8,400 rand. So guys, the intention of this video is not to constitute as financial advice, but to share my story, and hopefully this helps someone out there who's struggling with their monthly payment, or they're just unhappy with the amount that they're paying. From me paying prime plus 0.89% to prime minus 0.55%, my monthly repayment dropped by 837 rand and 45 cents. That's more than 10,000 rand per year. And if you project that over a life of the loan, which is 20 years, the savings are on the hundreds of thousands of rands. It just goes to show your interest rate isn't fixed forever, and if you play your cards right, you can negotiate better terms. So guys, I hope this helps someone out there, and I hope someone will tell a positive story in the comment section that they were able to reduce their interest rates, as we know that the times are tough in South Africa and generally everywhere with the macroeconomic issues and general the global issues that we have. My few advice to you guys to really help you in making sure that your rate review is successful. Firstly, keep your credit clean. What do I mean by this? Pay all your installments in time and pay every time. Those are very key advice. Secondly, build equity. Even small lump sum help in your repayments, and also that's seen as positive by the bank that you are able to pay additional amount into your loans. Thirdly, do not be afraid to ask for rate reviews, because you don't never know. The worst case scenario is them saying no or them saying yes. So lastly, I'll say if possible, use a bond originator, because they're able to compare quotes from different banks and you are able to see what other banks are able to offer you, and you can use that as leverage for your negotiation in terms of rate reviews if they're not successful. So if this video helped you or gave you some ideas, please give it a thumbs up or share it with someone who's currently paying off a bond. If you have questions or want to share your own experience, drop a comment below. I would love to hear it, and I'm sure the other people love to hear it and also your experience. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more real money tips like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys, bye.